Hello, and thank you everybody for watching Ask Ron, where Ron answers our Gold Club members' questions each and every week. My name is Jesse, and I have Ron here ready to answer your questions.
I'm sitting here in the middle of an implementation power days, teaching people in the room how to set up all their systems, especially the Dreams Pro system, to run their business for them so they can focus more on getting the business.
That's right. And remember, guys, if you have any questions you like to ask, first make sure you're a Gold Club member, and then you can submit those questions to the forum in the Gold Club.
And where do they go if they're not a member?
If they're not a member, they can submit their questions to ask@ronsgoldclub.com.
Or you can just go to ronsgoldclub.com and register. It's only $99 a month.
That's right. All right, we're going to start off with our first question this week, and that's going to be from Tony and Angie Stewart in Ohio.
Of course.
Their question, we know it's Tony. What do you think is the most underrated marketing strategy right now that still brings high-quality, terms-ready leads?
That's a good question, Tony. And I would guess, well, Facebook has always been good to get leads, but it's getting so expensive, a lot of people are dropping out of it. I would say the next best thing is postcards. Postcards, you go to Dreams and you get your list, and now, by the way, Dreams will send your piece. If you don't like any of theirs, you can put yours up and they'll send yours. Just started that, I think. And mail postcards. And then you can, a couple of things you can do to get the names. Number one, you can get them off of Dreams because they have a place in there for let me see. Yeah, I think one in there before the death and another one, after the death and probably after the title is cleared. But I'd go for the one that was pending, was in probate. And that means that the attorney's got to try to find something to do with the real estate assets. And I think we get good response on that. And sometimes we get response on the kids that are inheriting. So postcards. You just got to pick your target. Are you looking for nice houses in nice areas? You're looking for junker and junker areas. Might even want to test them against each other. And you don't have to mail 1 million postcards. I mean, if you pick the list off of Dreams and you mail out 500 cards, you might get a call or two, and that's really, a call or two might be a house or two. So you're targeting the right kind of target. And again, Dreams has got everything you need to print it and mail it, and postage included is cheaper than you can pay postage.
All right, thanks for that. Next up, we have Stephen.
Let me recap. You can also go online to your local Columbus database, I don't know what they call it, because everything, all probates are online. So that's what Adam does. He goes on there every day or two, looks for the new ones, and just mails to the new ones. You're talking about 2 or 3, 4, 5, 6 postcards at a time, and you just keep doing that. And once you get the piece set up in Dreams, you can just tell them to print and mail that amount, and they charge you a card for whatever it costs.
Good deal. All right, we have Stephen from New York next. Do we provide something regarding mortgage interest to the tenant buyer like you would receive from a traditional bank? No,
you do not have to report what you receive from the tenant buyer to anyone. Now, of course, you've got to report the income and expense in the LLC that you're probably running through on houses owned by land trust. But you're not required to send a 1099 to your tenant buyer. But, you should check with your CPA on that, because I can't tell you the rules for every single state.
All right, next up we have Arthur Mack from California. His question is, when using the all-inclusive trust deed, I understand that you are wrapping a new mortgage around an existing mortgage. When executing this task, you're using a land trust which houses the ownership interest. Am I correct?
Yes, your land trust owns the house, and out there you're going to use a grant deed to trustee, not a warranty deed. But the land trust owns the house, and then you're going to have to decide who's going to own the land trust. And if you don't know the answer to that, go to your Gold Club site under resources and pull down the lesson called 4 LLCs. And it'll tell you exactly what to do and why. And then if you have questions, send them to me and I'll answer them next week. same time, the same channel. And frankly, I'll probably get it before that and answer it before we record them, but I'm still going to put it up here. I mean, we've got to have some questions to answer, don't we? We're not making them up.
That's right. All right, we have Michael Alexander from Michigan next.
Michael?
What is the process for buying a property that already has a tenant in it?
Well, I tell you, it's a big plus for the current owner that if you're willing to handle anything that goes with a tenant, most of the time they'd be thrilled to get rid of that responsibility. So first of all, you didn't tell me whether the rent is current or not. If it's not current, I would try to get a hold of them and try to work out a way for them to bring it current. And if it is current, then you probably should approach them and see if they are interested in buying. If you make it easy for them, excuse me, and let them lease option until they get ready to buy, no longer than 2 years from now. So you got to tell me if the tenant's current or not, and and if they are not current, tell me how many months they're behind, because it's unlikely you're going to get them to work out a deal with you through 3 or 4 months behind. So anyway, you either get the rent or you get the vacant house. If you have to, you evict them.
All right, got it. Raymond in North Carolina is next. Does applying part of the tenant buyer's monthly payment towards loan amount add risk?
I don't do that. Tenants get no credit toward the loan. It's all rent. In other words, they're not getting credit for the debt pay down. You are. So I've never given a tenant rent credit toward the purchase price. Remember, all of their down payment goes toward the purchase price. And usually I'm going to get more down putting them in there on lease option than they need to go get a loan on the house. So the only thing they need to do is clean up whatever's broke, credit, debt ratio, or whatever it is, in that time that they got, and they can go get a loan. That's what they can do. But to be honest, most of them don't. They live in a house 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and then they move. So that's all I can tell you on something that I have part of the information on.
Yeah. Well, he goes on to say, just it sounds like from his understanding, I've looked into lease options in the past when I got into wholesaling, and I remember someone saying if you apply part of the payment, you can have some serious issues down the road in terms of evictions.
Yeah, because the court might deem it that you have to evict them because they were making you a mortgage payment. It's very clear they're not doing that. They are renting the house with the option to buy it. Now, that still doesn't stop them from trying to get their money back, but the odds are you're going to... I've had two tenants my whole life, my entire 43 years that I rent to own to, that actually tried to sue me and come back and get their deposit back. Both of them lost, because I have the documents in the file that I'm teaching you to have put in the file, and have an attorney close the deals. For a long time, I didn't use an attorney. I get it. I was tempted not to, but it's a mistake. You better let an attorney close any kind of a deal where you have an ongoing relationship with the seller and or the buyer. In the buyer's case, they pay the attorney's fee. And to get the right documents, and one of those is that CYA letter. It's called Seller's Acknowledgement Letter in the Gold Club under Resources under Lease Purchase, I think. Anyway, type it in the bar at the top. Seller's Acknowledgement, and it should pop right up. We call it CYA.
Next up, we have Paul in Illinois. After going through the contract for deed script, a seller asked, "Isn't this just a contract for deed? How should I answer him?"
It's a land contract. You own the property. It's not a lease purchase. You own the property. And when you pay that property off, you'll get the deed transferred to you or to someone else if you sell it, which you have the right to do. You have all the rights of home ownership.
All right, and our last question of this week is Adam from California. And he says, what have you found to be the best wording or pitch for a Facebook or online advertising when trying to get off-market terms leads?
You know, that answer might surprise you because honestly, it doesn't really matter what you put in your ad as long as it's clear you buy houses. And then, you can put some buzzwords in there. Fast closing, right off the script, fast closing, not necessary to move immediately, assuming your house is vacant. I don't know, there's other ones in there. So some of the benefits out of the book, but not too much. You're just running an ad. honestly, I think a shorter ads work better than a longer ads, as long as they're very clear and you give them the impression it's an easy closing, close when you're ready, and whatever else you can think of that would motivate them when you're attracting a seller.
All right, Ron, that's all the questions we have for this week.
Okay, all right, running out of year pretty soon, guys and gals. We get a jump start on next year, and I'll see you next Friday. So Christmas is coming, but not quite yet.